going to be working on bandaging Bella's feet. Bella is one of our wheelie dogs, and because she does drag her back in, she's opened up a couple different spots on her paws that we are working on getting nice and clean and healed. So today we're gonna be changing the bandages. Those do get changed daily, and just check on the progress of her feet. So then once she's unwrapped, we'll go ahead and we'll come through with these, which are just chlorhexidine wipes to make sure that we're killing off any bacteria that may have been introduced throughout the past 24 hours. So we'll wipe those down. Then we'll let her feet dry before we rebandage her. With the way I had been previously wrapping her, we weren't able to see any healing. Now that we're actually starting to see these wounds start to scab up and they are, healing the way that they're supposed to, those should turn into calluses. Once we can get her healed enough that she's not gonna reopen them by dragging them, she won't have to be wrapped anymore. And then we should be able to put the booties on to prevent her from getting any fresh ones. Part of what we've been dealing with is trying to make sure she doesn't get an infection because these are all open. So once they're closed, the risk of infection goes down, and then we can just put her in the booties to walk around in, and that should prevent starting this whole process all over again. Seems like we have enough layers now that even if she does get them wet, they're not soaking all the way through. So then the big concern is making sure we don't go too tight with the bandages, which can cut off circulation and undo everything that we've done and create more problems. So it's just about making sure we let those roll nice and loose. I mean, obviously we want them to hold, but we're not trying to put any tension on them as we wrap them around. And then that's also why we go ahead and stretch this out so that when we're unrolling it onto her feet, we're not going too tight and just keeping it nice and loose. All right, and there she goes. So then we always just feel there's some squish to this. As long as there's that give, we know we didn't go too tight. If we went too tight, there would be no give at all to those bandages. So as soon as I'm done, and usually I'll do it like as I'm doing each layer, just make sure that I'm feeling some give there. But definitely at the end, once you're done with the vet wrap, just go through and really make sure that there's give all the way through it, and then you're not too tight. So that a little bit, so we're not pulling off all the granulating tissue that is trying to build up and let this heal. So then again, we'll come to our wipes, we'll clean everything up real good, let her dry out, and then wrap again. It was both toes. Now it's all concentrated on just the one. So I mean, we're making lots of progress. We also started her on an antibiotic, and we did that at the same time as we started changing the way that we were wrapping her. I think the way that we're wrapping now protects her feet more, combined with getting the antibiotics now. We're just seeing a lot more improvement. And this one was like almost down to the bone. So this one's healed up really well. This one on the inside, a piece of scab did come off, but there's no open wound there anymore. It's completely closed up, so that's great. We are using non-stick because that was part of the issue, is we were just using regular gauze pads before. So as it's trying to heal throughout the day, we come in and we take off that bandage that is now stuck, and so it would remove all the granulated tissue that had built up. So now using the non-stick gauze, we're allowing that tissue to actually stay where it's supposed to stay and do the job it's supposed to do. And I think this is one of her favorite parts of the day, because she just gets to lay in here and get some love and attention from everybody. So we're definitely not hurting her. I don't think she's uncomfortable at all.